and it's been literally weeks in some cases, what we have learned about what the expectations of the state are around this. Our feeling was that we had a deadline of November 31st to be able to submit what I identified as, I think, provisional or some language like that, so that it would give us time to say, do we really need to recommend to the Policy Review Committee that they consider pulling bullying out of the harassment policy and have it be its own policy. But there is not an obligation to do that, but it still is a question on the table.
And it's a law that is changing. Today, there was a public hearing held on this by district attorneys to look about how they can strengthen the law. So the landscape is still changing. So that's why we decided with the plan that we would yearly get together to tweak it and change it and upgrade it depending on how the law has changed.
Well, but I do think that because this is now, because I know you submitted this to the state and this is here, it's probably a good reason to have policy review the next one or the one after. Let's just take a look at some policy there about, the main. I don't know if it's up for review for this year or not. I know I haven't seen it come up yet, but because of this, let's just go ahead and do it. It's a good enough reason now that this is such a substantial change for us to at least take an initial look at it and see if there's any changes. I know that we'll probably look at it again here and next year will be the bus policy that we'll be doing every single year, but it's a good policy review on a yearly basis when it changes, especially cyberbullying. So you can make sure that the policy review committee.
And that would be to come together with the pros and cons and why we sort of this of events. I mean, literally, this law, I think it was May 7th or maybe May 3rd, I can never remember which it was, that the governor signed. The law came into effect on that day that he signed it. And between that time, and they said, well, but you've got 7 months to write your plan. And 2 weeks before December 31st, 2 weeks before, the guidelines came out. December was 11th, I believe. So that's why what we have just tried to be careful about, not heading in 20 different directions.
Yeah, no, I think that it's just, it would be just a great practice for us just to take a look at it.
Sure.
That's it. Great, thank you.
Okay, again, much of the research that I'm going to talk to you comes through Mass Aggression Reduction Center. The students over 6 or 7 years now through Mass Aggression Reduction Center have completed surveys. These are incoming freshmen into Bridgewater State University. So some of the statistics is compiled over a 6 or 7 year period. The chart that you have in front of you now says that 50% of boys and 56% of girls saw themselves as victims of bullying in their high school years, and 50% of boys and 40% of girls felt that they were non-victims. This is critical because when I mentioned the importance of us trying to encourage bystanders to speak up, trying to encourage students to feel that they're being bullied, speak up, this chart is very, very critical. This chart of kids' rates of bullying behavior.
Red, in this case, red is boy. So the people, if this is their word for the people who they might report to. A number of girls, when I say large, about 18% said that the target could be, and they said that. Siblings, 5 boys, about 10 or 11% of girls, 5% of boys like my friend, about 21% specifically from 5% of girls are the principal, 0 would tell the girls principal that they were being. Send the teacher, send the school adult, roughly those figures. Counselors, about 10% of girls said that they would talk with their counselors. About 2% of the boys said that they talk to their counselors. But here's the number.
it was 67% of boys, girls rather, 67% of girls said that they would tell none. 83% of boys said they would tell no one. That is the problem.
Obviously, kids that are actually not the bystanders, or is this
These are
both?
victims, that's correct.
Victims, okay.
Yes, so the survey says, would you tell this person? Would you tell that person? So there were, whatever, 8 or 10 different categories. Would you tell no? And 83% of the boys said, no, I wouldn't tell anybody. And 78% of girls said, no, I wouldn't tell anybody.
Is the same data available for bystanders, whether or not they would?
I'm not aware of any data, and I've looked at a lot of their data, so I don't think so.
Okay.
Only because I've been to 4 different trainings and issue of data collection for bystanders, I haven't seen it. And I actually master Sasha, so I have not seen it on bystanders. To talk about what we've done so far, after the law was passed over the we had a little administration. We began the public process of development through Luke and Donna is answering some questions about that. December 15th, we submitted Department of Elementary and Secondary Education for approval. We put report investigators in place, and we have a process for both students who come from, and we also process for students who's not to let anybody know the board. We have put up on the service web page a specific for bullying, and there is a great deal of there. And we'll continue that information up, continue to links up on our Mark Aggression Reduction Center on that pivot. We have parenting seminars, as you know. There's a brochure that went out, obviously, tonight is important. February 15th, parent community training in the evening. And we have together a draft of a addendum to the district handbook to the point that we, this year, now again, we went into effect 15, our handbooks are pretty, that time maybe a month later, so we needed to do this by addendum, and that will out in March. The different schools of principals of different schools, so how that's going to go out, but people can expect a copy again of this handbook that investigated treatment and all between watchers. You have the 11-page documented prevention to the handbook. I just used a quick description of that, certainly not going to go through the 11 pages of it. The components that need to be in there include, and I think you'll see that they're there, it's prohibiting those. I think this district has done a job, and the messages, there's a message very fresh from the superintendent of schools, the school committee, message from the student safety committee, and because of those 3 groups, bullying is prohibited, and that really is the message of those. There are procedures for staff to report bullying, which will be trained on March 4th, responding to bullying. We have no less than 2 buildings. Is if in the case of a significant situation, do some as we see here today, 25 people have been trained, twice if you include disciplinary sections that have been identified or that have been grouped A through D in our discipline. Once it has been confirmed substantially within the plot in terms of what to do next for the work in terms of discipline, and it shifts over to the discipline, the conduct of student conduct expectations of the school. So there has been two sections applied for harassment and bullying issues, and that's already that was done in anticipation of our need to be able to let him. There was also disciplinary sanctions for students who fully report that a student can, if they choose to report something, they can be punished as well. It's a group C offense as opposed to a group B offense. There are procedures for addressing the need for safety as well as the bystander. Safety plans, those as a meeting, and 45 minutes of the meeting was spent on how they can feel safer in school so that you stay in school. Very well done this way. And I can't tell you enough about how well they handle things, how sensitively they handle things. The issue of making victims feel safe, putting writing to ensure that they're safe, both victims and offenders, are part of part of our plan. We notify parents of the victim and the perpetrator or the aggressor. That happens after there's been a station before. So, and the exceptions, of course, if it's Friday afternoon, happens often, but things happen at 2:30 in the afternoon. So, in most cases, we would investigate allegation first, come to a conclusion, then contact much, but our obligation is contact both. And discussions with them happen. If it happens Friday afternoon and there's an allegation, we call the parent and let the allegation just in case things that happen over the one week. People we have in place procedures for notifying law enforcement when it appears to the principal that there may be a criminal element to this. So the first line of, as this kind of does itself out, the first line of defense is the SRO, but the sequence of events is the investigation occurs, substantiation occurs, if in fact there is a reason we found with the investigator that a relatively easier conversation with the SRO to see if there may be no activity to do that. In the absence of the SRO, because maybe off doing something else, the decision is to contact the chief or his deputy and they'll assign somebody. Doing that if there's a question of time, they're the ones that cover the area, if there's nothing there. But we've had those conversations. Strategies for counseling are also in place. Again, many of the investors are also the counsel and some protocol for and only professional development, as I meant, by nature, we need to let letting some of the bullying that is being done. There are some model ones out there, including Mark Crehan, mass aggression reduction of the P5 curriculum. Yes, announced there's a meeting March 15th, I believe it is, for us to 12 curriculum. So on top of that, we'll be looking at, as I said, through these leadership over the next month. What to expect in 2011, March 15th, first March 7th, 7 o'clock.